Hello there. Okay, well, I'm back with one last video. I better not say last, but as requests come in, I'm happy to do what I can to help fellow applicators with our template cutting. So I alluded to this idea of issues when you're dealing with editing a template. Now, in my first video, I used templates that were clearly drawn using some sort of a CAD program, some kind of computer aided design to have all the lines in all the shapes absolutely perfect. In 2020, I started a quilt with more than 50 applique blocks, and the designs were all hand drawn. And those provided a new challenge for me using silhouette to the point that I almost quit using this. But then I figured out what had to get done. It's just a question of knowing the functions on the software here. And it's all doable. But it does take time. So maybe press pause and go get a cup of tea or coffee or some munchies to have on the side, because this takes a little bit longer. So this is also might be a case for just hand cutting your templates. But hear me out. Let's see how much you're okay with doing all of this editing. Okay, so here we go. I've hand drawn this unusual weird shapes that I've had to deal with in the past, and it's got the same. I think this will have the same issues that I've dealt with. All right, let me get started. I'm going to go through the first part very quickly because you've already seen this in previous videos. So select the trace area, and let me get that going, improve my threshold, and trace. Drop out the pattern, and now I just have this. And as you know, the two lines here, can you see those two lines? Let me enlarge it a bit. This is going up, over, and around the drawn lines. The lines I had drawn, the tracing goes around both sides of the line. And then we have to deal with that. Okay, we're going to highlight the entire design, object, release compound path. We've already done all that before. And now everything is separated. Okay, it's not one unit anymore. See these little dashes right here? This is from where I had erased a shape. So we'll just grab our eraser, and reduce that size real quick. And we could just quickly erase some of this. Okay, that's easily done. All right, then back to the select tool here. Let's start breaking things apart. So here's this design right here, and we want this center, think of this as like a flower bud or something like that. So we want the bud, and that's fine. And then we want the bottom shape, and that's good. So those are two different pieces. Let's just say this is green and this is going to be pink. And this can be deleted. And here's what should have been a circle right here. But I drew it kind of lopsided, and that just happens. All right, so not on these other templates I have, the circles are never this lopsided, but I like to exaggerate a little bit for you to see the difference. So I'm going to come over here and grab the circle drawing tool or any ellipse. And I'm going to click and drag just to drop a circle in here. Then I'm going to go back to select tool, because as long as the circle function is turned on, no matter where my mouse clicks, I'm going to be dropping off little ovals everywhere. So get that select tool going right away. I'm going to overlap this to get pretty much the same size circle as the hand drawing. And they are not equal, so I want to make this one 0.9. I have to unlock this, otherwise it proportionately changes in size together. So let's do 0.9, and now they're both that size. Good. Now let's save that circle, That's what we're going to be using. Oops. And that gets deleted. Okay, and here's this little dot left over from who knows what. Let's delete that. That would have cut a hole into the paper, tiny little hole in the paper. This one too. So let's delete that. Okay, here's another one. Let's do a circle once again. Click on the ellipse tool. Get a rough idea on the circle. Why don't I go small just on purpose? Go back to the select tool. You want to close out that ellipse one so it doesn't give you any more. And then I'm going to enlarge this just a bit to be sort of the right size. Now I'm also drawing an oval shape here. So I'm going to change this to 0.85 and 0.85 and lock it in place so that if I change it from here, it'll stay proportionally correct. Let me just shrink it up a little bit more. Okay, where is that nice circle? This one? Yeah. And let's eliminate that. And now we have two nice circles. So now you can use these circles. You can either use the starch and iron method, or you've got a nice, hard, firm circle to do, where you do a running stitch on the seam allowance and then pull it up, kind of like, sort of like a yo-yo. You appliqueurs, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so those are done. Let's look over here. So here's a leaf, and that leaf is good. But here is that. See, now that stem is not connected, so that didn't help there much at all. Let's put this back to where it was and do some other editing first. Okay, I'm going to get the eraser. Let me shrink this side. Once you click with all these functions, when you click these functions, the tools for that function are up here. So I'm going to shrink this a little bit, and I'm going to erase this leaf away from the rest of this leaf. I want the outer leaf to stay in place. So I'm going to disconnect it from the stem. And you know what? When it comes to stems, we're better off just using a clover bias tape maker. Okay. Let's go back to select tool. And this is one of those split leaves where you use like a light green and a dark green, and so the way I like to do it is I'll save this for the dark green, but I want the whole leaf for the light green, for the other color. So now we have to repair this. So when it comes to these designs, they all have nodes like this. And there's almost usually too many nodes. And see on this line, there's these red dots? It's because they're broken away from the whole piece. So click and drag it to connect it. And bring back this, and click and drag the red ending and just, let's see. Let's enlarge it so we can see what we're doing. Okay, and scroll over. Great. Okay, and see how now it's touching? Okay, it's still not really connected, or we wouldn't have these red dots. So we could just help edit it with these nodes. There are a few too many nodes. So we're going to click this S over here. This is simplifying the nodes. This actually helps create a smoother edge to the design. So I'm going to bring that over, let all the lines overlap. smooth it out some more. Let's enlarge it again so we can see what we're doing. And turn off the nodes. And now I can see where the problems are. So let's get rid of this line. Yep. Not too close now. Actually, let's just cut that off and go back to the nodes and bring it connected. And now it's connected. Same here. I've got a little line here. Let's go to the end. And then using the nodes, let's bring it on down and connect it. I didn't stick on it very well. Let's see. There, overlap it a little bit better. And this one needs to be overlapped a little bit better. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Okay. All right. We need to help smooth this out a little bit more. The leaf needs to be a little more curvier. I'm on a different line altogether. And smooth it all out. There's still one line here. And just keep working at it. And let's just slowly but surely work our way out there to fix it and smooth it out. And tweak this a little bit. Okay. This is still not right. Okay, this is in two pieces because this is not connected. See how, so if I were to move this, see, it's going to leave that piece behind and it's still not right on. Okay. But we can go to object and, oops, I can't group it yet. Usually you can do group and it'll like glue it all together. Okay. Well, this will cut very well if I leave it alone like this. If you have a tiny little off, like a little bit of a rough spot here, simply take an emery board and shave it just a little, like you would your fingernail tip, and it'll smooth it out. But as you can you see how rough this is? But this is all nice and smooth now. And does this still fit here? Yes, it does. It will. Okay, so this one, see how it's got a lot of nodes here? We've got to clean that up. There, now it's nice and smooth. But this right here looks a little funky. So let's just click and drag that. And maybe this one could use a little bit more plumpiness out that way. And this one here out that way. And now let's reduce the number of nodes. With every node you have, it's going to cause a little bit of a ever so slight little divot in with the cutter, with the blade. And not much, but sometimes if there are a lot of nodes, it's almost like it's perforated. And you don't want that for tracing out your, if you're going to trace out these templates on fabric, you don't want all those little, you don't want a rough edge. You want it nice and smooth. Okay, so we're done with that. And here it goes back in here. Pretty close to what you need. Here. And if it doesn't fit to your liking, let's put it there. Yeah, this doesn't look as nice as it should. We can just pull it out a bit, pull it out a bit, and bring it in here. And then pull this out that way a bit, and pull this down that way a bit, and this a little, just a little smidge. And now you've got it. Now you've got a nice leaf there. And then this one up a little more. Maybe this one in a little more. Or you can go like that. And there you go. You have to admit that's pretty good there. Oops, I moved it. I moved it, my fault. Okay. And there you go. That's pretty good there. Okay, let's do, how about this? This should have been, oh gosh. Can these be separated? All right, so there's something wrong with the design. And see, it went up and over because somehow the pencil missed there. And it left a little gap. So we have two definite, just one complete roundabout rectangle. So let's just erase that. See how I broke that off there? I separated the two by erasing that. And now this one will go away. And delete that one. But this one's fine. However, look at how crooked this is. This isn't meant to be crooked. It's meant to be, you know, pretty straight. So let's draw a box here. And turn, oops. Delete. Quick, as soon as you draw your design, you've got to quickly grab the select tool again. Okay, let's put it here. Highlight that. Twist and turn it to 90 degrees. Bring it down. There we go. Okay, let's see. This should be a diamond, so let's make it 1 by 1. 1 by 1. And it's not really on point. It is, you can always use these grid lines to line up, see, like right here. Come on. There, see how they're not quite on, but, oh, how did I get that? 1.0 by 1.0. Let's lock it just in case. There. Now I'll get this. And see how now they are nice and neatly shaped. But it's a little bit bigger. And let's see. Let's not lock this. And let's shrink it more to like a diamond shape. And see how that fits. That's a little closer. And then, or if you did want to keep it like this, if you did want to keep it curvy, which seems to also add interest, this one could go out a little bit and in a little bit and in a little bit. Oops, that's wrong. Grab it, nope. Grab it from there and then and out. This one didn't work well. But let's just smooth it and see what happens. There you go. See, it smoothed out. It eliminated some of the nodes and then it was pretty good. So there you go. You can use either one of these. Perfect or, you know, interesting. Let's see, we have more to do. Here's another leaf. This one looks pretty messy down here already. So let's see, any one of these. Okay, here, that one is fine. And this one, we can delete. And this one, oh, there's a lot of cluster here. So let's click it a few times to get it to improve the smoothness. Let's delete some of these nodes. You can right click and delete a point. See, right click, delete a point, or click on it and hit the delete button. There's two right there. Let's get rid of one of them. And see how already you're improving this here? And let's come down and make this a little straighter. And here we need to have too many points here. And there we go. Nice and smooth. All of this will be nice and smooth here. And then this, so you would keep this as, like, you would put one color on here, fabric color on here, and then contrasting color on here. Well, not contrasting. Let's see, a light and a dark. And on here, and let's fix, oh, look at that. Let's get rid of those. There we go. Nice and neat and smooth. And then once you covered up this one, you would overlap it on this one that's already covered. Stitch it on down. Stitch it on down here. And then you've got your two colored leaf. This could use a little more pointiness. So just click and drag that up a little bit. But this is curving out too much. So maybe like bring it down a little bit and stretch it down a little bit. There, and it has a little bit more pointiness to it. Okay, what else can we work on? So here's a heart. That should have been a heart, but it looks lopsided. So let's, first of all, let's break this up a little bit here. Okay, because we have two hearts, and we only want one. Okay, delete that one. And now this one, let us stretch that out. There you go. Now you have one piece, right? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to stick this point right there, right here on the crosshair, on the grid, and I'm going to twist this, pivot from that point, oops, and turn it until this point and that point are lined up. And use the grid lines to help me improve these things. Okay. So here we go with the smoothing. Let's clean that up a little bit. And let's improve that. Drop that down. Maybe a little more. And so on. And then okay, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3.5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.5. That looks almost the same. How about from here? Well, clearly this one is out too far. So from here to here, and from here to here, that's about the same. And then this one down more. This one down more also. I keep adding more points without realizing it. And let's smooth that out a little bit. This is a little bit too curvy here. And let's smooth it again, see how it's looking. Am I counting this wrong? 1, 2, 3.5. 1, 2 3/4. So this one has to come in somewhere. And bit by bit, you just sculpt it in bit by bit. And let's bring you in a little bit more in that way. So like click and dragging it down kind of helps. There you go. Do you see how it's improving? And it's not such a weird shape anymore. Not so lopsided. There we go. See how this is 1, 2 in a little corner? So from here it should be 1, 2. Yeah, we should need to bring this in. Let's round that out a little better. And there we go. See, it's still not perfect yet, but it is so much better. And I think you're getting my idea of what I'm trying to do here. From here, 1, 2 3/4, 1, 2. Out more. There we go. That's what it was. All right. And smooth it out some more. That's not good. Nope. Delete that point. Okay, there you go. Now, this bigger piece. Let's shrink that down a little bit. Okay, I made this more difficult than we needed. Oh, here we go. This is that center piece. So this is the one I want to get rid of. And delete that piece. Great. I guess that was better than I thought. And this is a mistake. And you can decide later what you want with those. And put that over there. Then there's all these little pieces left over. Okay, we're going to work on this weird shape here in a second. There we go. Let's check on this. Here, let's just smooth that real quick. That's done. That looks fine. Again here. See, all of this could potentially cause a very slightly rough edge on your template. But if you smooth it out a couple times, this will look nice. This will work well. If you don't like how it looks, you can tweak it. But I'm going to cut out this little circle here. And this one. And see this little jig-jaggedy part right there? Let's clean that up. Because this will cut into there like that. And I know you don't really want that. This. Yeah. Oops, it's not coming out like I wanted it to yet, but it will. Let me enlarge it a little more. There we go. Get this eraser in here and just very gently erase it away. Now I've caused a gap. And that's okay, because we'll grab our nodes here, add a node, and connect the two. And there we go. Okay. You'll have to watch these videos a couple times to see all the different little touches that I'm doing. You're done. Okay. Let's fix that up. Okay. Now this looks a little jaggedy here. That might be okay, because it might be that it's being hidden behind another part of the template, or another part of a leaf or whatever. But I like things nice and rounded. And so we'll just add a little more to it. Click and drag that line and just round that out just ever so slightly. Okay, and there we go. That looks a little better. Here's another one. Okay, let's enlarge this again. Okay, grab the eraser. And what is this thing here? Let's just erase that. Just left over from something else. And then grab our nodes. And you can grab that red line and just smooth it out. Okay, and smooth it out. There we go. Okay, now this guy, this big guy. All right, let's get this stuff out of the way. Let's see. Okay, first of all, double click it, and let's get rid of the excess nodes. Now, see how these are all like chubby tendrils sticking out, or whatever you want to call it? This did not do that. So I'm just going to pull and drag it until I like the shape, till it's more like the rest of it. Yeah, there we go. And I did this on purpose to show this. So you just keep playing with this until you like how it looks. Yep, that's right. Here we go. Let's round that out a little bit more. This one's a little too narrow. Let's round that out some more. This one looks more like a thumb than anything. So let's, whoa. Okay, so those blue squares help change direction of the curves. There we go. We can even go a little farther out. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. That looks a little better. Here, this is a little bit crooked here. Let's stretch that out a little bit, and that was a little better, but we can improve it more. And that one can come out a little bit. Again, hit the smooth button. And let's face it, this looks a whole lot better. This looks a little off kilter. Yeah, let's bring this down and down and down, and there we go. Okay, and let's just double for the heck of it, because I might have added more nodes. Let's clean them up. There we go. Okay, so you have a general idea now on, how to, oh, here, what was this from? This is another one of these. This looks awful, but let's clean it up first. Okay, and up and over, and there, and there, and there. Okay, and smooth that out. That can use a little bit of improvement, but not too bad. It'll be quick. Oh, here's this other node. Let's just delete that node. And there we go. That looks much better. What was this left over from? I delete that. So this has to get separated for cutting, so it could be its own piece. Okay, okay. Here's the two circles that we did early on, and then here's that. Oh, wait, I don't think we worked on this or this. Okay, let's smooth that out a little bit, and let's let it look a little more symmetrical. you know what, it's easier if I just put it here and stand it up straight, and then I could, using the grid lines, it helps me figure out how asymmetrical I am. So this is actually pretty even here, and this could probably use a little help right here. Just pull that out a little bit. And then this one down a little bit. And I think that looks, well, let me see, this could come in more. There, that looks more symmetrical. And this part is inside of this, so I'm not worried about this part. But let's smooth it out again. And this little guy. Okay, first let's smooth it all out a couple of times. Click that smoother a couple of times. And I don't know. I think if this were anything else, it would be more symmetrical in shape. Or we could use the term organic. I mean, that's the buzzword when it's not centered or not balanced or symmetrical. So let's see, let's bring this in a little bit and this in a little bit and bring this down and bring that up and over. Oh, look at that. And straighten that out. That looks bad. I'll delete that one because that's excess. And let's smooth it out again. Let's straighten this out. Smooth it out again. And now this one looks a little flat and this one looks more curvy. I think I like curvy better. And just shove that in a little bit and around and down. Yeah, there we go. There. And so you just keep playing with it until you like how it looks. It kind of becomes addictive, and probably sound a little too enthusiastic by playing with all of this. But this all, it does take time if you want to be using the cutter. So there were times when I said, oh my gosh, why don't you just use scissors to cut these templates? And but I know that I couldn't cut this fine inset here, this fine point. And I know I would be blunting this. So that's why I use this cutter, because it's way better than I am. So, okay, I think that's all I had to show you. I did the circles, I did the split leaves, I did weird shapes, trying to improve them. I think I've got it all covered. So now you know how to play with those nodes, and just keep practicing. And I think you'll catch on to this. You'll be able to do this much more quickly than you think. I'm currently working on a Baltimore album where the templates are hand-drawn, but they are super nice, super easy to use. All I do is highlight on it, smooth it, and on to the next one. I don't need to do all of this editing, but I've done that with the previous two quilts, and it just takes time. It's, you know what, it's all part of the process of the joy of quilt making, for me anyway. So enjoy, have fun, and please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I can also be reached through my website, which is sew-annabelle.com. Okay, and you can drop questions there, and I'm happy to answer them, because I always enjoy quilting talk, and I do enjoy working on this Silhouette Studio software to get the templates just like I want them. Okay, have a good day and happy stitching, everybody.